right, welcome to Wednesday, March 9th. Good to see you today. Today's reading will be Deuteronomy, chapters 32 through 34. This was supposed to be a little bit shorter, but this actually, the reading tonight ended up being a springboard to a couple studies. Ended up having a good time. So here we go. So chapter 32 is a song of Moses. The word rock is used 7 times, and you can divide it out. 1 through 4 is introduction, and then there's different sections. I'm not going to get into those here, except I will point out again that there's no rhyming. Doesn't have good meter. Maybe it does in Hebrew. Who knows? One thing that I noticed on the trip through Deuteronomy 32 this time is verse 8. And if you want to take a look at it, I'm going to go ahead and read it right off my screen here. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, notice sons of Adam, he's talking about everybody. He set the bounds of the people, sons of Adam, according to the number of the children of Israel. And so that got me thinking, is population always corresponding to the number of Israelites alive? I thought that was a little interesting. Then I went back and looked at World War II. Around 7 million died in the Holocaust, but at the same time, that was about 10% of the total deaths of World War II. So now that's got me wondering, is there always a correspondence between the number of people on Earth and the number of Israelites alive? I don't know, but it's something I'm going to be studying and trying to figure out. Went to a couple commentaries. Nobody had a good answer to that, but then that's what I found. Notice here that the Jews are the apple of God's eye, even in disobedience. And then here towards the end, God says, all right, it's time to go up to the mountain. You're going to die. Chapter 33, the final blessings. Some are shorter, some are longer. See, this is reminiscent, if you remember, of Genesis chapter 49, Jacob's blessing, and now here we have Moses' blessing. Now, when we say reminiscent, we're saying same idea, same structure, but it's not the same. There in Genesis 49, Dan is the judge, and Judah is the whelp. Here, Gad is the judge, and Dan is the whelp. And then if you look there, Simeon isn't even listed. And come to find out, that is because their inheritance and borders are found inside of Judah. I didn't even think about that. So when we talk about Judah, the southern kingdom, because remember, Israel split, I'm going to have to do some more study on this, then apparently Simeon would have been another tribe, and also part of the reason that we never have the same number of tribes or the same people ever mentioned in any list. Hardly any list of the tribes in the Bible are the same. And so then I'm sure you'll also notice that Joseph is mentioned instead of his sons Manasseh and Ephraim. And thought that was interesting because remember, the half tribe of Manasseh is on the other side of the Jordan River. So all throughout Scripture, sometimes the tribe of Levi is left out, especially when it comes to land and inheritance. One time in Revelation, I think it is, Dan's left out. Many times, or I shouldn't say many times, I don't know how many times, Joseph is used instead of Ephraim. Joseph is used instead of Manasseh. Just interesting stuff. Now here in chapter 34, we have the death of Moses. I'm going to put in the description a sermon that I preached recently. It's called Batting 300. The best, think of the best baseball players. They only get on base a third of the time. Here, God kills Moses and then turns around and immediately says, my servant, the great Moses, is dead. But we see here that Moses is the God buried. It seems as though the authorship of Moses as the writer of Deuteronomy is probably attacked more than any other book. And of course, Jesus quoted from Deuteronomy in his 3 temptations. But also then you get here to chapter 34. It's the book of the law. It's the 5 books of Moses. And, obviously, this is obituary. He didn't write it. Who says he didn't write it? There are many books and many works out there from different authors that the author died with most of the work done and another author stepped in. It's possible that Eleazar, the high priest, stepped in. It's possible that Joshua wrote it. But, we've already seen in these 5 books that we've read that God sometimes gives indication of the future. He's done it many times. And the most obvious one is when he told Abraham what was going to happen to Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's not a big deal to believe that Moses wrote Deuteronomy 34. I do. All right, some good stuff to think about in there today. Looking forward to Bible study tonight. Have a great day.